You know that feeling? You go to stand up from the couch, and your knee grinds. Not a little ache. A grinding, bone-deep sensation that stops you in your tracks and makes you grab the armrest just to get upright. Or maybe it's the stairs. Going down is the worst. Every single step sends a dull throb up through your knee that makes you grip the railing tighter than you ever thought you would. And then there are the nights. The ones where you wake up at 2 a.m. and your knee is just aching, for no reason you can figure out, lying still in your own bed. You've changed how you walk, you've started avoiding certain chairs, you've stopped taking the stairs when there's an elevator, and somewhere along the way, without even deciding to, you started sitting out of things, a walk with the grandkids, a day at the market, a trip to see something you've always wanted to see. And here's what makes it even harder. You've probably been told this is just arthritis, just wear and tear, just your age. Maybe your doctor said it with kindness, maybe they said it matter-of-factly, but the message was the same. This is just what getting older feels like. Learn to live with it. I want you to hear me say this clearly. That is not the full story. Because here is what most people, including most doctors, are not telling you. Your knee pain, in the overwhelming majority of cases in adults over 70, is not primarily a joint problem. It is a muscle problem. One specific muscle. A muscle that goes dormant quietly, without announcing itself. And when it stops doing its job, your kneecap starts tracking wrong, grinding against the joint surface, and causing exactly the pain you've been living with. The good news, and I mean genuinely good news, is that a dormant muscle can be woken up. And once you know how to do that, everything changes. I'm going to show you exactly how. Stay with me. Now I want to tell you about the science behind what I just said, because this is not guesswork. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Orthopedic Research in 2021 followed 1,240 adults over the age of 65. These were real people with real knee pain, living real lives. In that study, participants who received VMO activation therapy, targeting that one specific muscle, reported 71% significant pain reduction in just 12 weeks. Compare that to only 28% in the standard knee physical therapy group. Same time frame, more than double the result. Let me say that again so it really sinks in. Same time, same age group, standard physical therapy. 28% reported significant pain relief. VMO, activation therapy. 71%. That is not a small difference. That is a completely different outcome for the same person in the same amount of time. The muscle we're talking about is the VMO, the vastus medialis oblique. It's a small teardrop-shaped muscle on the inside of your thigh, just above and to the inside of your kneecap. Its only job is to stabilize and guide your kneecap as your leg straightens. When your VMO is working properly, your kneecap glides smoothly in its groove every time you extend your knee. When your VMO goes dormant, which it does in most sedentary adults after age 60, your kneecap starts drifting slightly sideways. It grinds, it catches, it inflames, and you feel it as pain with every step, every stare, every time you stand up. Now let me tell you about Dorothy. She's 74 years old. Her orthopedic surgeon told her she needed a knee replacement. Bone on bone, he said. Nothing left to do but surgery. She went home with a surgery date on the calendar and a lot of fear in her chest. But a friend told her about VMO activation exercises, and before she went under the knife, she decided to try them for 10 weeks. Just 10 weeks. When she went back to her surgeon, he watched her walk across the room. He had her do a few simple movement tests, and then he said something she never in a million years expected to hear. Let's hold off on the surgery. He postponed it indefinitely. Dorothy still has her original knee today. Not because a miracle happened, because the right muscle started doing its job again. That's what this video is about. I'm going to give you a countdown. 5 exercises from the gentlest first signal all the way to the single most powerful VMO activation exercise that physical therapists know of. And the number 1 exercise on this list, the one I've been building towards since I started speaking, is called the terminal knee extension. Research from the American Journal of Sports Medicine found that the terminal knee extension specifically increased VMO activation by 73% compared to standard quad exercises, making it the single most efficient VMO targeting exercise known to physical therapists. And here's what I love about it for you. It requires nothing more than a resistance band or even just a rolled towel, and it can be done sitting in a chair. Stay with me to the end. You'll want to see how to do it correctly. Let's start with number 5. Number 5 is the quad set. And I know what you might be thinking. That sounds like nothing. And you're right that it feels like almost nothing. But that is precisely the point. The VMO doesn't wake up on its own after it's gone dormant. You have to send it a signal first. Think of the neural pathway between your brain and your VMO like a road that's been closed for a long time, overgrown, unused. The quad set is not exercise. It is the road crew clearing that path. It is the first, faintest signal saying, "We're open again." Research published in Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Journal found that consistent quad sets performed 3 times daily produced measurable VMO activation within just 2 weeks in previously sedentary older adults, even those with significant knee pain. 2 weeks of this tiny, invisible movement, and the neural pathway starts reopening. Here's how you'll do it. Sit in a firm chair or lie flat on your back with your legs straight. Now tighten the muscles on top of your thigh. Squeeze them down toward the floor as hard as you comfortably can. Hold for 10 seconds. Release. That's 1 rep. Do 10 reps 3 times a day. You will feel almost nothing happening, and that is fine. You're not trying to feel it yet. You are just sending the signal. You are knocking on the door. The quad set is the knock on the door. Number 4 is what happens when the VMO actually answers. Number 4 is the short arc quad. Now that the neural pathway is reopened, your VMO is ready for its first real contraction. This is where many seniors feel that teardrop muscle for the first time in years. A strange, almost unfamiliar tightening just above and to the inside of the kneecap. Some people find it startling, a few find it emotional, because your body has been trying to protect your knee without this muscle for so long, and now it's back. A 2019 study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research showed that short arc quad exercises produced 41% greater VMO activation compared to full-range quad extensions, making it superior for targeting this specific muscle without stressing the joint. Full-range extension can actually skip past the VMO's sweet spot. The short arc catches it directly. To do your short arc quad, lie on your back or sit in a firm chair. Place a rolled towel or small pillow under your knee to prop it up at a 30 to 40 degree angle. Now, straighten your leg fully, lifting your heel off the surface, and hold for 5 seconds. Lower slowly. Do 3 sets of 10 reps. That last few degrees of straightening, right at the end of the movement, that is exactly when the VMO fires. You'll feel it. Remember that feeling. Your body is remembering something it forgot. Now, your VMO is contracting. Number 3 adds gravity, and that changes everything. Number 3 is the straight leg raise. Once the VMO is firing, you need to load it. The straight leg raise uses your leg's own weight as resistance while keeping the knee joint itself completely stress-free. This is a critical distinction. You are building VMO strength without grinding an already painful joint. You're doing the work around the joint, not through it. The Journal of Physical Therapy Science found that straight leg raises performed by older adults with knee osteoarthritis led to a 38% reduction in reported pain scores after 8 weeks, without any change to the structural condition of the joint. Read that again. The joint didn't change. The imaging looked the same, but the pain dropped by 38%. The relief came entirely from improved muscle support. Your muscles are your shock absorbers, and when you rebuild them, your pain responds. Lie flat on your back, one leg bent with your foot on the floor, the other leg straight. Tighten the quad of your straight leg. Really squeeze it and raise it to the height of your bent knee. Hold 2 seconds. Lower it slowly. The slow lowering matters just as much as the raise because the VMO has to work to control that descent. Do 3 sets of 12 reps on each side. Slow and controlled beats fast every single time. You've rebuilt the signal. You've fired the VMO. You've loaded it with your own body weight. Number 2 is where we put it to work in a real-world movement, and this one might surprise you. Number 2 is the step-down eccentric. Here's something most people don't realize. The majority of knee injuries and the majority of knee pain episodes happen not when you're pushing up, but when you're coming down. When the muscle is lengthening under load, stepping down from a curb, descending a staircase, lowering yourself into a chair. This is called eccentric motion. The VMO is supposed to control that motion. When it doesn't, your kneecap tracks slightly off, and you feel it as pain every single time you go down. A landmark study in Physical Therapy Journal found that eccentric training of the VMO reduced patellar tracking dysfunction, the kneecap misalignment that causes so much of your pain, by 64% in older adults over 12 weeks. 64%. That is your kneecap learning to stay in its groove again. Stand on the bottom step of a staircase, or on a low, sturdy step stool, something just 4 to 6 inches high. Hold the railing. Slowly lower your non-stance foot toward the floor, bending your standing knee as you go. The key word is slowly. Count 4 full seconds going down. Touch the floor lightly with your toe, then press back up. Do 3 sets of 8 on each leg. The burn you feel during the lowering phase is your VMO, working exactly as it was designed to. That burn is progress. That burn is your kneecap, learning the right path again. Your VMO has now been trained through signals, contractions, loaded raises, and real-world eccentric movement. Now, we arrive at number 1. The exercise that ties all of this together and delivers the strongest, most targeted VMO activation of anything on this list. And now, we've arrived at number 1, the terminal knee extension, the exercise I've been building towards since the very beginning. Physical therapists who specialize in knee rehabilitation consider this the gold standard for VMO reactivation. It is the most direct, most efficient, most targeted VMO exercise that exists for your age group, and once you try it, you'll understand why. The terminal knee extension targets the exact final degrees of knee straightening, the precise range where the VMO is supposed to fire, and almost always doesn't in people with knee pain. Every other exercise on this list builds toward this moment. But the TKE doesn't just strengthen the VMO, it teaches the VMO when to fire, and that timing, that neuromuscular coordination, is the real root of patellar tracking dysfunction. The American Journal of Sports Medicine found TKE produced 73% greater VMO activation than standard quad exercises, but there's more. A 2022 study in clinical rehabilitation followed seniors who did the terminal knee extension 4 times weekly for 10 weeks. They showed not only 71% pain reduction on average, but measurable improvement in kneecap tracking on imaging. The muscle was literally pulling the kneecap back into its correct groove. You could see it on the scan. Here is how you do it. Loop a resistance band around a fixed object at knee height and around the back of your knee. Step back so there's tension. Starting with your knee slightly bent, slowly straighten it against the resistance, squeezing your quad firmly at the end. Hold 2 seconds. Let it return slowly. No band. Sit in a firm chair with a rolled towel under your knee and perform that same final straightening motion against the towel's pressure. 3 sets of 15 reps. You should feel the VMO, that teardrop shape just inside and above your kneecap, contract firmly at full extension. But I want you to understand what this exercise really means. This isn't just about pain scores on a chart. This is about the stairs you've been avoiding, the walks you've been cutting short, the moments with your grandchildren where you had to sit it out because your knee wouldn't cooperate. The VMO reconnecting is about reclaiming those moments. And your body is ready to do that. It just needed the right signal. Let me quickly recap all 5 for you. Quad set, 10 reps, 3 times daily, no equipment, just a quiet signal to begin. Short arc. Qualt, 3 sets of 10, towel under your knee, your VMO firing for the first time in a long time. Straight leg raise, 3 sets of 12 on each side, slow and controlled. Step down eccentric, 3 sets of 8 on each leg, 4 seconds down, rebuilding real-world control. And the terminal knee extension, 3 sets of 15, resistance band or towel, the most targeted VMO activation available to you. Now, an important note before you begin. Please consult your doctor first, especially if you've had prior knee surgery or have been told you have severe osteoarthritis. These exercises are gentle and designed for older adults, but your situation is your own. Never push through sharp pain. Only mild muscle burn is appropriate. If anything feels wrong, stop immediately and speak with your healthcare provider. If this video helped you today, type the number 1 in the comments below. And if you think I can do better, if something wasn't clear, or you want to go deeper, type 0. I read every comment and I build future videos around what you need. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I put out videos like this every week for people who want real information about keeping their bodies strong and capable after 70. And if you know someone right now who is suffering with knee pain and has been told there's nothing they can do, please share this video with them. You might change everything for them. I want to ask you something. Have you ever been told your knee pain is just arthritis and there's nothing you can do? Tell me in the comments, because I want you to know that is not the full story, not by a long shot. And when your VMO starts coming back online, the next video I want you to watch is about your hip flexors, because they work in tandem with the VMO to stabilize the entire knee complex, and strengthening them together is what gives you complete, lasting relief. I'll link that video right here. Here's what I want to leave you with. Your body has a remarkable ability to heal when you give it the right signal. The VMO didn't disappear. It didn't die. It didn't wear out beyond repair. It just went quiet. It went dormant. And now, after everything you just learned today, you know exactly how to wake it up. Start today. Even just the quad set. 10 reps, 3 times. That's all it takes to knock on the door. And your VMO is going to answer.